Ooh, I have a good hand for you. So I want to share this one with you. This one is one that Rampage played. He got absolutely destroyed in the comments of the live feed while this was going on. So I want to run it by you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away the information of the other players and then ask you how you would proceed. Then I'll show you at the end what actually happened. Let's get started.
And Rampage, after being pretty out of line in this first hour tonight, wakes up with kings in a good spot. 4-bets it, gets a cold call from Nick Airball with and Dylan is going to be continuing as well.
So if you don't know Nick Airball, who's also involved in this hand, he is quite aggressive and very difficult to play against. Rampage gets pocket kings. He raises it up to $400. Nick, who is commonly aggressive, 3-bets up to $1,200. There's a caller in between. And now it's going to go back to Rampage. So with this action in front of you, what are you going to do with pocket kings? You're going to raise.
Ooh, I thought he might be 5-betting. No, just a call, which makes more sense to me. So $20,000 already in this pot. And an ace out there, disappointing for Rampage.
Yeah, from the doctor they have it. Or they need from the doctor? You can talk to them. I can do the information. 2,000. I will later, yeah.
Oh.
Can I try it to see how good these are for me?
Small, very small bet from Rampage. Nick Airball calls. Dylan continues as well.
I don't know that I like the $2,000 sizing. On a flop like this, you're supposed to have a lot of aces that have called you. A lot of ace kings, aces, queens, things like that. So it's pretty unlikely for $2,000 any of those are going to be folding. I don't really like the continuation bet so small. I think I would continue. I would probably go a little bit larger, knowing that if you get callers, you might have to take your foot off the gas.
Seven. And once he checks here, now what does Nick Airball do?
14,000.
All right, so there's the action. He bets 2/3 after it checks to him on an ace-high board that's now paired. It does have a club draw, and it does have some straight draw potential. What are you going to do when it gets back around to you? Are you calling? Are you folding? Are you going to raise? Pause the video really quick. Think about what you would do. I encourage you to, give me some thoughts in the comments down below. But what I would do is, maybe start your comment with what you would do, and then give me the, after we get the information, how you feel about it.
Dylan gets out of the way. And Rampage's perspective, there's lots of draws out there, but what's he going to do with pocket kings? He's very deep with Nick.
Called them Paul once, and both of them check. Okay.
Rampage decides he's going to fold these kings. He doesn't think they're good. I personally am going to agree with that. I don't think you should be calling here. The 4-bet range pre-flop, you're going to end up having opponents calling you with a lot of aces. If by some chance Nick, who is a wild player, happens to hold a 7, he now has trip 7s. But I would say more likely than not, he has an ace and he's hit here when you have multiple players and the pot has been 4-bet pre-flop. Now, Rampage got torn apart for this. He got told that this was a terrible play, Nick's too wild, you have to call. I disagree. Even against a wild opponent in a 4-bet pot, based on the action, you have to give people credit for betting 2/3 pot on an ace-high board when you hold kings. Now, if this had just been like raise and call, now it's a little bit different. Now you're going to have more of the 5-6s and the 9-10s and the club draws. But based on the fact that it's a 4-bet pot and the ace-high club is out there, that's going to negate a ton of the ace-high club draws, which negates most of the clubs, which again is just reducing the number of bluff combinations that Nick should have. I think this was actually a very good play. I have no idea why he got shredded for it. I don't think he should have. I think really what people have in their minds is like, oh, this dude is too aggressive, therefore you always have to call him down. You don't always have to call down a wild man. You need to be willing to do it at a slightly higher frequency, but you got to choose your spots. This is not a spot that I would be choosing. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me the rest of that comment down below. Let me know what you think now that you know what his cards are. Does that change anything for you? Would you play it differently? Let me know. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you next time.